So getting into that one that I hinted at a second ago, right? 1099-S. What is that thing? It says proceeds from real estate transactions. Well, what is that exactly? Generally, you're required to report a transaction that has a sale or exchange of money or debt, property, services, in any of these possible things. So improved or unimproved land. The funny part that I love here is it says including the airspace. I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm selling air. Anyway, yeah, improved or unimproved land, permanent structures, including residential, commercial, industrial, I don't care what kind of a permanent structure it is, condominium, and any of its fixtures, stock in a housing corporation. Well, wait a second, stock in a cooperative housing corporation, that doesn't sound like real estate to me, but it honestly is. And then we talked about earlier, another one that just maybe doesn't follow logic, a non-contingent interest in standing timber. So those timber contracts we talked about. So these are all the type of things that are considered a real estate transaction. So if you're selling it, exchanging it, and there's some really great right within the instructions examples, and some of them that actually aren't reportable. And it says, but you can choose to. You can do it optionally. They never care if they get more information, but which ones aren't required. So some of these have to do with sale or exchange of a residence for $250,000 or less, because they're thinking, yeah, it's probably under the Section 121, unless and there's all these exceptions, receive certain documentation. So for the most part, just kind of think of this is our real estate 1099. So it's going to have very specific information about that. What was the date of closing? How much was it sold for? So the gross proceeds. What is the address of that particular property or legal description? Here, if they're going to receive property or services as part of the payment consideration, or if it's a foreign person, they want to know that too. And 6, buyer's part of real estate tax. So here's one of those other ones where box 4, they really don't have any federal tax withheld that's being reported on here. So just kind of my own little observation of my own amusement. But here's the 1099-S that we're starting to see a lot more in practice that people receive. But it doesn't hurt to say, oh, I know you sold a property. By the way, did you get a 1099-S? Oh, yeah, I saw that, but I didn't think it mattered. Yeah, I'd like to see that form, please. So these are little things that just kind of can trigger those kind of questions as well. Because on the matching side, I want to report every single 1099 somebody receives so we don't end up with matching or mismatch errors later on down the line. So these are little things when they're telling me about stuff. Oh, I sold that piece of land that, I had for all those years. Great. Can you give me that 1099-S that they should have given you? Oh, yeah, I didn't think you needed it. So it kind of helps on that side of things too. But here's when you may have an occasion to need to report this. And usually this is you may have a title or a company or somebody involved. They're the ones that may be helping to report these, but maybe you help to do the books for a title company. We actually have one that's located right downstairs from our office, so I get to see this a little bit more. As far as from here, 1099-SA. What is an SA form? So the 1099-SA, and this also kind of goes in conjunction with the 5498-SA. We have the lovely option of this one. They say, oh, low volume, we're going to go ahead and let you do this on a fillable form. Okay, that's awesome. What they do with the high volume ones is they require the red line forms because they can just do them quicker. They don't have to data enter them themselves. When you send one that it's a black and white, they have to enter it or have a person manually enter it. So distributions from an HSA, an Archer MSA, a Medicare Advantage MSA, these are all very specific types of plans. So you wouldn't have an occasion to do this unless you were helping somebody who is reporting maybe HSAs, MSAs, etc. So it's going to be, the same sort of things. Again, demographics, void corrected, none of that really changes much. They want to know, what was the gross distribution? Was there any earnings on excess? Is there a distribution code here in box 3? What code is that? What's the fair market value on date of death? And what type of is an HSA, an Archer, Medicare Advantage, for example. So these are all ones we can do on a fillable form, which is super nice, but may not have a lot of occasion. It's pretty low volume. You may not have a lot of occasion to have to fill one out for a client unless they are dealing in those particular types of accounts. How about the 1099-Q? One that we may not, again, come across a whole lot, but payment from a qualified education program under Section 529 or 530. So very specific code section that it's under, but a payment from a qualified education program. These All these are pretty much all the same as due dates, which I know we weren't mentioning as we were going along. The February 28th due date to the IRS, the January 31st to the payee, the recipient. So these are all ones that follow along similar patterns. This one's going to want to know a few other types of specific things. So if you have an occasion where you're helping somebody with a Section 529 or 530 plan and you know they're doing distributions of those, this is possibly a form that needs to be filled out. So if you're officer, an employee, designee having control of the program established by an educational institution following one of these plans, here's the occasions where you may run across this. So it just helps to put it on your radar so that you know, oh yeah, there was something about that. I need to look up that form. So this is all the different things that you need to know generically, and you know, not getting into lots of super fine detail because maybe you'll never have an occasion to have to do a 1099-Q, but now you know a little bit just so it hits your radar and you go, oh yeah, I need to go into those instructions. The beautiful thing is every one of the links, if you're ever interested or if maybe you do want some light reading at night, we have the instructions for every single one of those for actually the 2017, believe it or not, instructions, because you go and search for that on the IRS site right now and they have it linked up all to the 2018. So very bizarre. Happened last year too for some absolutely unexplainable reason.